Hello and welcome to this episode of Three Questions. I'm Greg Michlig, President and CEO at CUInsight.com. And it's great to be joined by John McKusick, CEO at NextLeft. John, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Greg. Super excited to walk through some great insights.
Yep, excited to hear those insights. I know our audience is eager to hear them as well. So let's start with this first question. And just curious, so what does hyperlocal SEO and AI search actually mean for a credit union? Why does it matter more than it did 5 years ago? And where should a team start if they want to see movement, say within the next 90 days?
Yeah, awesome question. So hyperlocal for credit unions really is about being found online. So being found online is, people searching on the AI searches, on Google search, and other search engines. And so hyperlocal specifically would be someone searching for a local term. So a common one would be your credit union plus a location. So for me here in San Diego, it would be credit union in San Diego. For that's like the start, right? That's the gold standard. You want to rank there. That's usually the highest volume is like your major kind of city. But most credit unions have, are in either smaller locations or have multiple locations in different communities. So the hyper local version of it becomes credit union plus, say, Point Loma or credit union plus Chula Vista. So getting into more like community searches is really important. And the way that we do that or we recommend is, most credit union sites have the different branch locations and ATM locations across one page. Where to improve that, you should create multiple pages on your site. So each branch or ATM even location could have its own page. And so on that page would be your name, address, phone number, maps. And for the AI searches, we recommend doing your FAQ, which would be more natural language searches and how people are searching for that specific branch or ATM. And so that helps you show up in the AI searches and SEO to be more hyper local than just your major city. So that's one big part of it. And then so that's on your website. So off of your website, you can also do what we call it's called NAP or citation management. And that would be getting, 100 directories out on the website. So Apple Maps, Bing Business, Yellow Pages, White Pages. We would want those also those hyper local individual community branches to show up and be consistent across all those different sites as well. So yeah, so making sure that they're consistent across, that they have the same phone number for that branch, has the same address, same name, etc. Those really send great signals across the web and very hyper local signals to help you be found.
Yeah, those are good examples. Being at CU Insight, we are engaged with SEO, AI search, things like that too, and just the way you're talking about the FAQs and how to kind of spread that information out on multiple pages, very insightful and helpful. And it's really a lot to think about. And credit union marketing teams are stretched thin. So, how should they think about where SEO and AI search fit against everything else on their to-do list? And what's one thing you'd tell a credit union marketing director to stop doing?
Definitely. So yeah, so I think within being stretched thin, right, everything, it's like life, right? You want to prioritize. So you want to make sure you have goals. And I like to break those goals into two types of goals. So you have your management goals and your operational goals. So from a management side, asset size, account goals, like account creation goals, certain products, right? We want to push certain products and grow those. We want to maybe do market expansion. So from there, now how do we operationalize that into marketing? And so we'd want to break it down. So if the goal becomes we want 10 new checking account signups this month, how do we break that down into marketing goals? So we know consistently about 1,000 visits, about 1% of those would turn into new checking account signups, for example. So where are we going to find those 1,000 people that maybe don't know about our credit union? Where are we going to find them to have them visit our website? So that's the start of that. And from there, it's like, okay, does, SEO, is that our biggest win? And we like to look at marketing holistically first and say, are there other channels that are working that maybe there is some paid ads running on Google? Can we increase that to hit the goal? But on the SEO AI side, there's a ton of reach. It's actually more reach than paid ads. Usually the challenge, and a lot of people talk about this, that it takes a little longer. You can't just put more dollars in and have more visits immediately. But we usually can break that down and say, okay, let's back it out. Here's how many more keywords we need to rank for. Here's where we need to increase our rankings, our visibility on the different AI searches to achieve those 1,000 visits to achieve the goal. So definitely like one thing I tell CU marketing directors to stop doing would be to stop treating the website like a brochure. I treat it like it's your largest branch. So especially for the younger generations, they may never go into a branch. So the website really may be the only way they're seeing you. And so making sure that that website can do that.
I love that. That I haven't heard that before in terms of thinking about your website that way as a largest branch. That's a great insight for our audience. And websites in and of themselves are such a central piece of a credit union's marketing efforts. But why do so many credit union redesigns fail to move numbers when it comes to their goals, the priorities you're talking about? And what does a redesign that actually helps credit unions be found online look like instead?
Yeah, great segue. So a lot of these credit union redesigns, the site redesigns fail, mainly because they're scoped as a design project. There's been multiple acquisitions or brand mergers, or the site hasn't been updated for a long time, so it's feeling stale. So are scoped as design, right? And really, I think they need to be scoped as both performance as well as an operational change. So I'll start with the operational change. So operationally, it's like who's using the content management system? What content management system is the site going to be built on? I think that's a very important decision. Like, is it going to be supported long term? Are you going to be locked into some system that becomes unsupported? And then is it easy to use for your team to provide all the value and updates for members that you can through that content management system? And then, so that's a major one. And then on the performance side, um, it's looking at like all the history that your current site has built over time. So you have, hundreds, maybe thousands of pages on that website that have been on the internet. They've been in all the memories of people and the AIs out there. They're remembering these pages, and it takes a lot of time to build up that we call it topical authority, and just overall other websites linking to those pages is backlink authority. So we want to make sure that we're cataloging that and making sure we're transitioning that performance over to the new site. So we want to make sure that the traffic is maintained. And we want to basically to do that, we'll redirect um, the important URLs from the old site to the new site. So ultimately, yeah, you want the website to look pretty, but you also want it to perform and be a sound platform to build into the future.
Yeah. As a digital media company, you are speaking my language on all of these different things, and I've been kind of smiling along as you've been talking about them because it really resonates with what we do at CUInsight, and the way you're speaking to the application of that for credit unions is really important for them to understand, and I think can be very impactful for them. So, John, I want to thank you for taking the time to share those insights with us. It's been a pleasure to connect with you, and I appreciate you joining me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you, Greg, and appreciate it as well. And yeah, just look forward to staying in touch. And yeah, just definitely let's have some success and help grow the credit union community.
Awesome. That's the goal, right? Help grow the credit unions. So thanks again, John. And thank you to all who tuned in for this three questions video interview. We'll see you next time.